Hey guys, it's Tony Brown, and now we're going to talk about how to configure your NetBeans to use the xDebugger, or excuse me, the xDebug debugger. Now, in order for that to work, you've got to have XAMPP installed on your machine with PHP support. If you left the configuration settings as defaulted, PHP is already running on your XAMPP installation. You also have NetBeans. You also have to have NetBeans installed. If you left your configuration settings the same, you've got PHP support for NetBeans. Now what we need to do is go inside of the configuration file for PHP and change the settings around so you can actually use the xDebug debugger inside of NetBeans. So let's get to it. First thing you want to do is find your XAMPP installation. So I'm going to click on our folder, go to the C drive, and under the C drive I should find XAMPP or XAMPP. Let's double click that. Next we're going to find the PHP folder, which is right here. And now we're going to scroll down until we see the PHP configuration file, which it doesn't clearly say it's the INI file here. You've got the application of PHP, you've got an image of PHP, and then you've got the PHP with a little gear on it. That's your configuration of your INI file. So let's right click on it, and I'm going to edit mine with Notepad because I'm going to edit mine with Notepad++ because Notepad++ is a little more robust than Notepad. If you don't have Notepad++ installed on your machines, I highly recommend you install it. And once we open up our INI file, we see some purple PHP words at the top and everything else is in green. If you've got an INI file and it's got a semicolon at the beginning of the line, that means the entire line is commented out. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to search for the words PHP underscore xDebug .dll. Okay, so that's it. So now at that line we're going to get rid of the semicolon. That's a Zend extension equals XMP PHP extended PHP xDebug. That's the first thing we need to do to turn it on. Now the next thing we want to do is look for debug.remove underscore enable equals 0, which is going to be this line here. Let's take the semicolon off of that line and change that 0 to a 1. Now back in your basic CIS classes, remember zeros are off and ones are on. So we need to turn the remote enable on. Once you've done this, simply hit save, exit out of your machine, or exit out of Notepad++. Now what you want to do is go back to your control panel. So I'm going to right click on mine and click on show hide. And I'm going to stop my Apache machine and I'm going to reboot it. Turns yellow and it turns green. And guess what? Your NetBeans is now configured to run the xDebug debugger.